Hey guys, so today's question, I get this a lot, and so I thought I should make a video on this, is what's the best fitness program out there? So the easy answer is there is no best. It really comes down to what your goals are, but even more than that, it comes down to will you do it? So the best is go do something. That's better than nothing. So if you're spending $1,000 a month on services and programs and equipment and whatever, but you aren't doing a dang thing, then obviously that's not the one for you to use. So the best fitness program out there is the one that actually meets your goals. So if you are like many of us, so I'm in that 30 range, I just have kids, I'm like, whoa, my life's flashing before my face, my eyes, it's going so fast. And you're thinking, well, what do I do to be fit? Or you're more like me in your 40s and 50s and you're like, wow, my kids are graduating high school. What do I do now with myself? Maybe I've been doing stuff since I was 30, so hopefully that's good. But it's really to find out what your goal is and your why. And I have pissed off many friends with this. Like, they're like, I don't have one. I'm like, well, then this probably isn't very sticky. You're probably not going to stay doing whatever you're doing. And then they don't. So when the doctor says, hey, you are going to die soon, you do whatever. Well, I suppose you either go one way or the other, right? You're like, I'll do whatever I can to stay healthy and try to like fix that. Or you're like, whatever, let's party like it's 1999, right? And a shout out to Prince. So anyway, it really comes down to those goals. But I'm going to walk through a couple different options for you guys, and you can weigh and measure against your own goals. And if you don't have goals, it's a really easy fix. So I'll do this quickly. Back up to when you're dead. So hopefully some time past 90, and think, what do I want to be like or known for? Right? So you could do all your, emotional head and family and all that. And then when you get to health and fitness, hey, I'm wiping on my own rear. I'm able to coach my kids' sports. I've walked the Appalachian Trail, wherever it is. And I'm on track. Like, I can stand up, I can sit down, I can tie my own shoes, etc., right? Then what does that look like 10 years before you die, and then 10 more years, and then 10 more years, and 10 more years, and get to about your age and say, well, now these are what these things look like, and how do I achieve those individual things, right? So have a goal, have a why. That's my biggest thing. If you can't do that on your own, call me, text me, email me, throw a rock. I will totally help you. I've got a video I did for my soccer kids. You can steal that and just walk through it. It's the same thing. Anyway, so my question that came today specifically was, Andy, what's the difference between boot camp and CrossFit? And why is it better? I'm like, yeah, it's not better, it's different. So here we go. Boot camp. Boot camp, and there's some that have this name, but the idea is burn. So you're just doing calories in, calories out. It's very old school. I love it. It's easy math. Back when I was a youngster watching cartoons, well, I still watch cartoons. So back when I was like 5, 10, whatever, the only real method was calories in, calories out. So you had Jane Fonda doing some jazzercise, and it was calories in, calories out. So eat less, work out more. There's a ratio or a mathematical formula. Just, burn 1,000 calories, only eat 900. You have a calorie deficit, you're going down. There's a lot more science now out there that changes those rules, or has new rules, and you can utilize those for your benefit. So boot camp is about burning and moving. So if you're not doing anything, sure, it's a good one. You just burn and you basically maintain. Maybe you get fitter, maybe not, because the difference between what I do or some of these other things you're going to see is measurements and coaching. Typically, and I'm not saying everyone, just typically, a boot camp is that idea. It's a class that all does something, and there's somebody up front cheerleading to some degree, saying, go faster, go harder, you can do it, woo-hoo, right? Nothing wrong with that, but possibly there's not any movements that need to be coached. So the neurological adaptation, basically, you can't see me do it, but circle and pat, right? So that's not happening. So if you want to fight off things like Alzheimer's and such, then keep your mind focused, do some Sudoku puzzles or cryptograms, or solve the Rubik's Cube every day or whatever. But learn something new to tie your brain, your nervous system together with your body, right? So typically, there's nothing being tracked or measured. It's just trial and error. Hey, Jenny, do you feel fitter today? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. So it's not a test and measure. It's a trial and error. Do some stuff, get some sweaty. It's a 45-minute time domain that's pretty much the same every time, or an hour, or 30 minutes, depending on what you're doing, or maybe 15, right? And then maybe they say switch and you go to different stuff. But again, it's about burning some calories and moving. Yeah, you'll get sore. Nothing wrong with it. It is great. I would suggest everybody try it out, right? If it meets your goal. So what is your goal? You're like, I don't know. I just want to move. Well, great. There's tons of them. Just go do it and go move. So yeah, thumbs up if that's what you want to do. So what are your goals? Powerlifting. So back when I was a kid, it was girls did boot camp stuff, Jane Fonda, jazzercise, whatever. And guys did lifting. Mostly we would call it powerlifting now. So it was on Monday, back and by. Tuesday, chest and try. Wednesday's leg day, and all you men out there, say it with me. We skip leg day, right? And then repeat Thursday, Friday. So back by, chest and try. So they would work out. So the idea is if you're doing your back it's a push pull or not working the same muscles, right? So I'm resting some muscle group, and so totally fine. It's all about strength. And if your goal is, man, I want to be jacked, strength, boom. Yeah, totally. Powerlifting is the way to go because you don't want to cut calories. You want to have a calorie, not deficit, the other word, extra. I don't know, whatever. You have a calorie extra. You want to eat so much, then maybe you got some love handles. That's fine. If you're not like doing the competitions for like showboating, it doesn't matter. Your body has fuel. When you rest, you build, so you stress them out. You can do time under tension. You can do linear progression model. You can follow, West Side Barbell. I mean, there's so many things you can follow. I love starting strength with, oh my gosh, we do it for summer strength. I can't think of who, is that Simmons? Is that, that's Ripetoes, starting strength. And we do that for kids over the summer to help them learn how to lift properly. So when they go to high school, they don't wreck themselves. But so lifting is great. Gross strength. It's perfect. Hey, Nathaniel, what's up, buddy? So the next one down the list is Olympic lifting. Not many people do Olympic lifting compared to the other stuff. And a long time ago, it was basically you're in the Olympics to do Olympic lifting, and nobody else really did it. Now it's becoming more niche, but mainstream. So at our gym, we actually have an Olympic lifting coach and program with its own stuff. So it's all about Olympic lifting. You can be, hey, Gabrielle. You can be on the rec side of it, kind of like my wife does, or you can be totally in. I'm going to competitions like Donovan Conrad, right? So you can kind of hit it from two sides. So why do Olympic lifting? One, it's highly technical. If you want to be coached and you want to perfect a movement and have a body symmetry and body mechanics that is second to none, man, Olympic lifting is the way to go. Gymnastics and Olympic lifting, sort of the same sort of idea. Gymnastics being it's your body weight. Not many adults do that anymore, but it's for kids. I mean, adults would be great too. We do some of that in CrossFit, but so Olympic lifting, high explosion. If you are in the throes of sport and you want to do extra, but you don't want to tire yourself out for the sport. So let's say you're playing soccer right now and you want to do something on the off days, but not to impact your ability to perform during practice. Olympic lifting is a great way to go because it doesn't necessarily fatigue your lungs, but it will fatigue your muscles. So you're not going to have the same drawback as something like a CrossFit or maybe even overtraining like a boot camp. So you can still perfect movement and get that neurological adaptation through the, so in Olympic lifting, I guess I should define that. It's clean and jerk and snatch. So there's basically two movements. And the powerlifting, I know I said back by chest try. So powerlifting is really defined by any of those, anything that's not those two movements. So deadlift, back squat, bench press, shoulder press, any of the inclined movements, bent over rows, all of that stuff would be something in that world of powerlifting. Primarily if you're competing, then powerlifting is strict into 3 lifts, back squat, bench press, and the other one. Deadlift, right? So powerlifting. Anyway, so Olympic lifting is great. Highly coached. You need a coach. If you don't have a coach, you're going to mess up all over the place because you can't see yourself move. And the timing and technique is so tight that the difference in an early pull could be like 20 pounds on your personal record, right? So be coached in that one. The next one down, I would say, is CrossFit. Not down, but the next one over, or whatever, next one on my list, is CrossFit. And so if you listen to the name, Cross Fitness, I am trained in a broad time domain and functional movement, cross fitness, for fitness, right? And in CrossFit's pyramid or paradigm of thinking, it goes, we want to hit nutrition first because you can't outsweat a bad diet. So there's always a piece of nutrition. None of this in here really is ever going to talk about nutrition. CrossFit really will. You want to, it's just a huge aspect of what we do. So then there's the metabolic conditioning, which would be something like a burn boot camp. And then there's gymnastics, which as adults we typically don't do, but you can kind of think Olympic lifting to some degree. And then weightlifting. So you've got powerlifting, Olympic lifting. And then at the pinnacle of the pyramid is sport. So I would say that if you have a goal and your goal is, I would like to be better for something. So for me, it's hiking that Appalachian Trail. It better bet that's a sport because I'm going to be tired. And I don't really know how you define sport, but part of it is if you're tired, it was a sport. So CrossFit crosses all those domains. It's a master of none. It's a generalist. It's PPP, GPP, general physical preparedness. So we prepare you for whatever life would throw at you, right? The big difference in this and several of the others is test and measure, right? We want to test and measure everything. So maybe not, I guess Olympic lifting, powerlifting, you see your numbers. So, and even in the nutrition side, you're going to probably count something, do a BMI or maybe dunk tank or for that, or you'll have some sort of measurements. Maybe you're doing calipers or something. So maybe the difference between boot camp and a CrossFit is trial and error for boot camp and test and measure for CrossFit. So trial and error, hey, did you like it? Did it feel good? Did you feel like you did a good job? Okay, great. Keep doing that. And CrossFit's going to be let's test and measure. There's going to be defined workouts that we will retest every so often, just like you would run a 5K on the same route to figure out, am I more fit? And yes, Justin LeBrec, I use my hands a lot. So when you text me why you use your hands, I do. I can't help it. I'm Italian with a last name McCann. I'm super Italiano. Anyway, test and measure. If you're doing that 5K, do it on the same track, see if you did better. If you did better, well, then you're probably more healthy and fit, right? Or you have better technique. So efficiencies lead to healthier production, right? A better use of your body's function and so forth. So anyway, CrossFit is also highly coached. So I am a big fan. You'll hear me say this over and over. And the last one has a lot to do with this. Be coached. Have a mentor. So coaching, mentoring, and accountability. That's what you need to do. My next video is going to be on why Groupon screws you in terms of fitness. So don't do discounts and Groupons, but that's a whole nother episode. So, I mean, seriously, if you want to be healthy and fit and you're like, I'm at my wit's end, I have done everything. I probably haven't, but find a coach or a mentor, pay him $1,000 a month, and I guarantee you'll be on the track of success. As long as your goals are reasonable, right? I think I did this last time. If you want to lose 20 pounds in one day, I am a wrestler. I can help you with that. You'll probably be dead. But yeah, it's possible. I've seen kids do it, which is very bad for them. But it is possible. But who would want to do that? Anyway, so hire a coach, a mentor to keep you accountable and to drive you. So the last and the culmination of everything, if you were to like, hey, I need help, it's personal training. Personal training is all of those things because it's personal training based around your goals. So now I would differentiate it. Not every personal trainer is the same. So you could get a kid, and it's typically a kid with his watch out or his phone out going, nice rep. No, nice rep. That's not the personal training you need. You don't need someone to watch you do movements. You need to have someone watch you move, if that resonates, if that makes sense. So how am I moving? Not count my reps. I can do that. I'm not an idiot. So personal training. We do. That doesn't sound right. We also do personal training at our facility, right? Many places do. And that's how when people ask me, Andy, what type of gym should I go to? I look, do they list personal training out? Because sometimes boot camp isn't the answer. Olympic lifting isn't the answer. CrossFit isn't the answer. Sometimes you try it and you're like, this is just not right. Personal training is the answer for everything because it's so customizable. You're like, I want to row 50K every day. Yeah, personal training, they can set you up with that. They'll give you other things to do to help you. But yeah, sure. You're like, I want to lift Yep, they can do that too. I want to do CrossFit, Olympic lifting. I want to do yep, you could have a personal trainer that would help you with all those things. Now, would I do all those things? No, because you need to have a goal and a why. And if your goal is, I want to try everything, I'm going to lick the lollipop, all the lollipop flavors, I want to get them all. Well, that's really not going to get you fit or healthy. That's just going to mess you up big time. It's like saying, I want to be the best soccer player out there, but you do football, basketball, swimming. Now, let me back that up. I think it's great, and it's somewhat unfortunate that, I think it's great that kids can play multiple sports. I love it. But it's unfortunate these days that if you don't narrow in and focus up, then you'll probably get ousted by the kids who don't do those. So if you want to be on the best soccer team, then you better play only soccer. If you want to be like, yeah, I'm willing to grow with a team that's developing, then yeah, you can play multiple sports. You can cheerlead, play basketball, whatever. But specialization, right? I mean, that's what we all do now. You probably specialize in programming, computer programming, whatever you do. I don't know, but that's a specialty. You don't grow your own food. So specialization and specializing early on. I mean, look at the Chinese Olympic lifting program. Those guys specialize early on, right? So anyway, personal training, and this should be no surprise. I say this all the time. If you want to win, if you want to succeed, it's coaching, mentoring, accountability. If you're not willing to pay for it, then you're going to get what you pay for, which is nothing. And that'll be a whole nother, I've got already built. That was actually supposed to be today's show, but I don't have a show. Today's topic. But this question came up of, Andy, what's the best one? I'm like, there is no best one. It depends on your goals. So it's always, the answer, if the answer is not, it depends, then they're lying to you in many cases, because it's so hard to have absolutes anytime. There's always caveats in so many things. So anyway, find your goals first. Find your why. If you don't have goals or why, I mean, Google, how do I make goals? Google or Alexa, how do I make goals? Or whatever. And, or ask your phone, they'll probably tell you. Or call me, talk to me, email me. I'll give you a quickie on how to do it. Or find one of the old videos I did. Have a goal. And then dive into it. So what's the best one? It's the one you'll do. So if walking to your mailbox is what you'll do, that's the best fitness program for you. If you're like, I'm only willing to walk that far, then carry a lot of stuff when you go out there, so you're at least getting more work out of it. Then go to the next mailbox. I don't know, right? There's ways to ration it up. So boot camp, yeah, if you like it and it's working for you and it hits your goals and you're having friends and fun, man, do it. Powerlifting, Olympic lifting, yeah, if it's hitting your goals, yeah, do it. It's great. If you want to be coached, Olympic lifting, CrossFit, personal training is a little bit more what you need to be going after, right? If you want the ultimate in freedom to specifically drive down into what you need, it's personal training. And the very end, and we talked about this last time, is nutrition. You can't out sweat a bad diet. So if your diet consists of Chick-fil-A 3 times a day, which I'm not saying that's not bad. Actually, I'm saying that, but that would be tasty. You're probably going downhill in terms of health and fitness. All right, guys, let me know if you need help. I'm here for you. Bye.